Did you know that I didn't realize that I was Mexican until my 20s?
This is like a minefield I'm about to say right now, but you may be like technically Mexican, but you pass. So it kind of doesn't count.
I pass as white. Yes, I do. My name and my appearance. But my mom grew up in Mexico City. Her family goes back generations in Mexico. My great uncle is a Mexican historical figure, Savedo Amador. And she has never once said the phrase, I'm Mexican. Because she's terrified of discrimination. And she wanted me to avoid the same fate.
Okay, but your mother also is not. It's that your family you stopped, and that it was sort of like they were in Mexico for generations, and before that they were in Spain, where they then conquered Mexico, and they're very white.
Well, yeah, but pulling my family tree, there's clearly, I've got like the full family tree because I've got this historical figure, and there are genuine Native American Mexicans in there.
All right. Well, it's just sort of like, it's interesting in that we're opening this specific episode with a discussion of like what constitutes whiteness, because, 100 years ago, I would not be white.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, Italians weren't white.
I know Italians were discriminated
like,
against for a long time.
No, they were not. They were not white.
Huh.
Whiteness is a entirely invented category that only defines itself by who is not white. Like,
interesting.
I guarantee in like 50 years, and this is already starting, in like 50 years, people that we now would say are like Hispanic will be considered white. But yeah, the Irish weren't white.
What?
The Italians weren't white. Yeah.
The Irish burst into flame if they enter direct sunlight.
Okay, it has nothing to do with your skin color.
Really?
It's entirely a construct of society.
All right, so.
Yeah, look up...
As you may have guessed, today on the Unofficial Shopify podcast, it's a little different, a little sensitive. We're doing our best, but we are witnessing what has to be the largest civil rights movement in world history. Protests occurring simultaneously in all 50 U.S. states and over a dozen countries along with it. So, with something that absolutely unprecedented and something we're all experiencing talking about, we can't not talk about it on this show, right? Because a lot of people are looking at social media and how people respond to it and how brands respond to it. So, on today's show, we are going to discuss how merchants are responding to the Black Lives Matter movement first. And I don't necessarily know how to talk about it. I don't think anybody does, but we're going to honestly fumble our way through it and hope that discussion helps people. And then after that, we got a few Q&A questions to go over from the group, a quick win that someone posted in the group that I liked a lot, and finally, a website teardown of DTC darling Bombas. They make socks, among other things. Mr. Rita, how was that for an intro?
Well, that was good. Sounds good.
I feel like... Well, I think we're at a situation where no matter what you do or don't say, you're going to piss somebody off at this moment. So we may as well discuss it. And if that pisses some people off, that's fine.
Yeah. We hope we don't piss you... Well, it depends. Depends on how we piss you off. If we piss... Certain people we piss off, we'll be like, we don't care.
Right. Yes. Yeah. If you come at me with that all lives matter bullshit, at that point, you don't let the door hit you on the way out. But
I'm proud of our Facebook group, and that we only had to ban like one person this week.
It's true.
So, great job, guys.
So on Monday, I posted in our Facebook group, which has, I believe, about 3,300 members now. And I pinned the post and I said, serious discussion. How are you handling social media right now? And that resulted in something like 50 comments, great discussion. I opened it myself by declaring my first stance in there. then you had a great discussion, and I was terrified. I was watching that thing like a hawk for it to just explode into a complete horror show. But it didn't. Not only did it stay civil, there was a lot of engagement and a lot of people opening up and being honest, and that they're like, well, I don't know what to do or what is and isn't appropriate. And so we'll read some of those comments. And we only had one person who showed up with stuff with just like straight up white supremacist talking points, and they were promptly removed and banned. See ya. Bye, Felicia. But I mean, come on, only one person. I was pleased to see that things did not completely devolve.
Yeah, and I was sort of like, they made a shitty comment, and I was like, all right, I don't want to ban anyone the first time they say something that's kind of shitty. Like, we're not going to rule with that iron of a fist. And then you were like, fuck no, they're banned. And I was like, I think that's a little bit overreacting.
Well, you saw it
right away. And then I looked at their Facebook wall and was like, oh no, this is bad.
You saw it as a teaching moment. You're like, well, we could respond to this. And I had considered that as well, but I'm like, nah, zero tolerance. This has got to go, because I viewed it as like, this is very clearly a racist talking point. Their comments.
Yeah. But anyway, they're gone now.
Yeah. See ya.
So I guess the question is, it's like, can you still do a business while all this shit is going on?
The answer there is yes.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. The answer is yes. Like, continue to do business. The way I approached it was I thought about it, and I think the bare minimum is, at least for last week. I don't know what's going to happen this week, because we're recording this on Friday. What is the date today? June 5th.
The 5th.
And then it publishes on the 8th. So for last week, as of the recording, I think number one, it's you pause social media, and that, like, all right, step one, pause social media to show it is out of respect, and it is so whatever nonsense, which like some will suddenly seem inconsequential to a lot of people, is not extra noise drowning out the signal of the Black Lives Matter movement, in which people are genuinely trying to enact social change because they're upset about the deaths of many people, like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery. So step one is just pause your content so that conversation could continue, right, without extra noise in there. And then,
well, and it's just going to look weird if you're having like wacky ads appear next to all that stuff.
So I think there's when I said pause content, I think there was a distinction between organic social media content and ads. We saw, felt like pretty much everybody paused their social media content. But my suspicion is less than half of Facebook advertisers pause their ads. Now, whether they did that out of solidarity or rising cost per acquisition, I don't know. But that's what we saw was, I would guess about a third had paused their ads during that time. And then I think all right, so let's say step one is pause everything. Step two, post solidarity. We saw that on Tuesday with the social media blackout, especially on Instagram with the black squares everywhere. And then third, the step to go further is urge action. And ideally, urge action by being the change, by demonstrating, by donating, by doing whatever it is you can do. The question is then, well, what's the backlash? And I think for the people who are offended that you would post solidarity with the civil rights movement, it's the trash taking itself out. You probably didn't want them as customers anyway.
I've never heard that before. I like it.
And then, what we heard from the people who did post solidarity is they got a lot of, the backlash was not anywhere near what they feared. And instead they got just a lot of love and solidarity. I have been, on my personal accounts, I have been very vocal about my support. And I have not had other than an interaction in our neighborhood Facebook group with when I called somebody out, I have not had negative pushback, and have gotten a lot of like support and solidarity. So I think I got lucky.
Yeah, those like next doors and stuff like that. Those places are shitholes.
Oh,
it's terrible in there.
Brutal.
But yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm just kind of wondering, can it be a little too much? Like, I'm moving next week, so I'm calling Comcast, and it's funny because I've been dealing with all of these other businesses, and I've had to like sit through them going over like, hey, during these difficult times, we care a lot about what is happening in the world. And I'm like, wait, is this for the current shit show or for the previous shit show last month? Like, which shit show are they worried about?
2020 is dark times. There's no doubt about that. No one is arguing that 2020 is not a wild ride.
Yeah. So it's sort of just like, do you need every single piece of corporate communication to like acknowledge that there's upheavals going on right now? Like, people are hearing it in all the other places. Like, you don't necessarily need to be the one to stick your nose in.
But
am I wrong?
Well, I think a movement looks for allies. So yeah, some people, I've seen people get criticized for like, well, you're not doing enough. And I don't necessarily think that that's right, because we should be like, more voices, more allies, more support is a good thing. Even if you feel it didn't go far enough, that's still net positive. I think the risk for people in staying silent and saying nothing because they're trying to avoid controversy is that people can, and many will, assume you're a racist or a coward. Pick one. So I think last week we went beyond the point where you could stay neutral.
I don't know.
No one. Well, okay, that's the thing. No one does.
I don't want to. I don't like the idea of like yelling at someone like, you need to get out here and like cover your store in Black Lives Matter stuff right now.
I agree. I don't want to feel. Certainly you don't want someone to voice support because they got pressured into it.
Yeah. I don't know.
There is not a right answer. I mean, I don't know.
Well, and then and there's obviously the worry of like you trying to say something,
it comes across wrong,
fucking it up. Yeah. And I mean, to go into our thread, one of the store owners, Orion Brown, who doing yeoman's work in that thread, she owns a black skincare line and black hair care products. She said, if you're unsure how to express empathy and compassion today, it's okay. Many of us struggle to do this well. Race, politics, and the like are tough subjects to broach in a professional setting, and sometimes it's hard to know what to say or where to draw the line between support, debate, and just plain saying too much. And, so I think it's fine to kind of be like, hey, everyone marching in the streets, those people are right. And making it clear that you feel that way and your company feels that way. But I don't know, having like a Black Lives Matter sale, not so good.
God.
Don't do that.
No. Oh, don't, no. What?
So good. Not so good.
Bad. My God. Carol in the group had said, I've been struggling with how to respond. Period. Done. I think that is how everybody felt. I doubt I doubt there's really anybody who woke up on Tuesday or woke up on Monday and went, I know exactly how to handle this. Because nothing like this situation has ever happened before. A pandemic, followed by
20% unemployment.
13% now. But yeah, record unemployment, and then on top of that, record civil unrest and a civil rights movement. No one knows how to respond to that because it's never happened before. So if you're like, well, I don't know what to do, welcome, join us.
So I guess we're just like, all right, so just keep muddling through, I guess.
No, my point is...
But yeah, it fits into what we always preach and what we've preached to all of you listening for years, which is your brand is you. You are the brand. Personalize it. Make it about you. So you, as the person, the avatar of the brand, can be like, yep, the people protesting in the streets are right. They need to, they've been mistreated by society, and society needs to start fixing that shit.
Thank you. Yes.
And I think that that's fully a move that is fitting within what we preach to business owners and with the moral requirements of today.
Yes. I think I've made an effort to get more diverse guests on this show. I don't think I've done anywhere near the job I should have, and I'm going to change that.
Well, it's funny because, diverse is like kind of a loaded word because it's like, well, are white women really diverse? That whole thing. But we've been called out for like not having enough women as guests on the show. And when women call us out for that, you're kind of like, great, I think you're right. I totally agree with you. Would you please be a guest on the show? And they're kind of like, well, no, I can't. I'm busy now.
Yeah,
it's like, come be a guest on our show, please. We would love it.
Men are much more likely to volunteer themselves.
That's the thing. And that's like part
I even had a woman who was, she was a PR person, and she was booking her clients, and she flat out said that to me. She was like, men are much more likely to volunteer themselves. If you want more women on the show, your best bet is to work with a booking agent. Now, of course, she was a booking agent.
So maybe not.
No. So I'm committing to that, and I apologize for not doing so sooner. But all right, going back to the comments. Gabe had said, and I think this is this speaks to people's fear. We're treading very lightly. We usually post a couple times per day. We created a post in support of our position and got threats and harassment. We blocked someone on Instagram. They came to our store threatening and harassing us. It was scary and disheartening, to say the least. That was the only story like that. And when he posted that, I'm guessing that it was the week prior, where the support was not as loud or as vocal as it is now. But I think for the most part, the sentiment was like, I don't know what to do, and I don't want to risk sounding insensitive. Less than people worrying about being attacked by unhinged individuals, like poor Gabe. And he said, well, we did also receive a number of messages and comments in support of our position.
I think the way through that is if you're like, well, I agree with all of this, and I want to show that like my corporate stance or whatever or ethics is with this, but I don't want to do it and screw it up. Well, the best way to handle that then is to boost other people's voices.
Yeah, hit that retweet button.
That's how it's like. Yeah, hit that retweet button. I don't know. Is there like a repost on Instagram? I don't know.
You could get an app to do reshare, or just screenshot stuff, share it in stories.
Yeah, screenshot shop. Yeah, share it on Facebook. Boosting the voices of people that seem to know a lot more what they're talking about than you do, and like you agree with their stances. Like that's how you do it. You use your megaphone to boost others.
Yes.
If you don't feel comfortable saying it for yourself.
Throwing your hat fully in the ring, Courtney said, we're making donations and rallying our followers to do the same. We launched a fundraiser shirt for which 100% of profits will be donated to Black Lives Matter. Anything else feels wrong. Amber, I have 2 stores, and one was down the street from a peaceful protest, ended up having just a few people turn into a riot. I wasn't going to say anything, but I got so many messages from our customers, I decided I had to say something. I don't typically bring any political or social issues into my business, but it doesn't feel like it could be avoided. I didn't post anything else today. I just don't want to seem totally tone deaf. So I think people, they don't want to unintentionally offend somebody. Like that phrase tone deaf comes up a lot.
Yeah, and I think in
Or insensitive. They say tone deaf or insensitive a lot. Like, that's their fear.
yeah, because I think let's be honest, the majority of our group is white people, and
Unfortunately, that's e-commerce.
the thing is that like they have not been taught how to like discuss race in like a respectful manner, I guess, because like America's so segregated, like most people don't have a lot of interaction across their races. Or if they do, it's in like highly professional, like regulated settings. So it's like, yeah, when the time comes to kind of be like, okay, well now I got to talk about this. Well, I don't know what to do. And like, I don't want to be a bad person. At least it's good that most of them are worried about being bad people.
Yes, that is good. There's this assumption that if you stayed silent, it's because you are not being supportive. And at least in the case of these small business owners, the sentiment was, I don't want to be supportive wrong. And that's where I don't think I think people need to be really careful when someone's their intent is they're trying to be supportive, but they've never discussed race before like this. So they maybe didn't do it in exactly the right way. So help them and tread lightly and be nice and remember like their intent was positive.
But again, yeah, if you're just like, if you're too antsy about doing it, find other people and boost them.
My wife has been very vocal about her support, and she had a couple like just kind of crazy sounding messages that were incoherent, so we ignored those. Those don't count. And one person who said, they unfollowed and they have to tell you about it. So she said, I unfollowed you because you. And it was literally like a week prior. My wife had said, if worrying about a theme park being closed is your biggest problem, you need to check your privilege. And a week later, this woman's like, you're too political, and I unfollowed you because you said you need to check your privilege, and I feel that's judgy. And so she said adios, screenshot it, posted stories, and just like nonstop support from people. So I think like the fear of, I'm going to lose customers. I don't think you are. I really don't at this point. If you want to be supportive and you want to be supportive, and the thing that's stopping you is like, well, to destroy my income, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think the tide has turned. We are well beyond that.
Yes, 100%.
And
I think that's the other thing is like people feel like, well, people want to be part of a group. They don't want to be out on an island, making a declaration, or if they, or a lot less people are going to want to do that. So you saying something makes all the other people who also feel that way, it makes it easier for them to also say something. Yes. And like, there's and you're like, oh geez, I don't know. Am I the only one that thinks like this? There's like a huge group of people that all are together on that, and you'd be surprised at like the outpouring of support you'd get.
Yeah. I've gotten nothing but support. I think a lot of people are seeing a lot of support, and we saw that in the comments as well. All right. Now that we have discussed awkwardly race in America, any closing thoughts before we move forward?
No, but just to say that we as a company, you and I as a partnership, we're fully on board with all this.
Yeah, we had 2 weeks ago. We were already, as soon as the protest started. My wife and I were donating to bail funds. We donated to Minnesota Bail Fund. We donated to our local Chicago Bail Fund. And then our team, our agency, EtherCycle, our team is 9 people. I matched any donation that anyone on our team made. If they sent me the receipt, I matched it plus 20% up to $2,500. So it certainly we're not doing nothing, and I've been very vocal on my personal Facebook and Instagram stories, and then on Twitter I made my position clear But then after that, I didn't, because Twitter's so great for discourse. I really avoided posting, but instead just retweeted a lot of people who were better spoken than I am.
Yeah, I've just been retweeting mean shit like I usually do.
So, but I think I really like your point that, hey, we always say people buy for people, not brands. You are your brand as a small business owner. So I think you should give up on separating that and stand up for what you believe in. Yeah.
And I mean, and to all the people that are sort of like, well, I don't want to get political and this is too political or
we're
whatever.
Beyond that.
Like everything. Well, and it's also literally everything is political. It's like, oh, well, I have a question about the shipping rates on my store. It's like, oh, you shipping? Oh, that's political? Like the existence of the Postal Service, the existence of UPS and like privatized package places, the state of the roads, like trucker unionization. It's like anything you want to say. We're going to ask a question. We're going to answer. Someone's got a question right now about SMS. Messaging. It's like, yeah, SMS messaging. That's political. It's like privacy rights, deregulation in the telecoms industry. It's all political. All things you see at all times are political. You just don't want to acknowledge it.
Well, that was brilliant. You should have opened with that. That's so good.
What?
Wow.
Well, that's just how I live my life, man.
You're smarter than me. Wow. No, I was impressed by that. That's very good. All right, let's move on. Let's move to the Q&A. We got Liz Watson. Liz Watson posted and said, "Hey Kurt, is there going to be another episode on Facebook ads anytime soon? I just listened to the ones with Kurt Bullock and Andrew Foxwell. They're gold. Thank you so much." Yes. I've got a post scheduled in the group, in my social media queue, in which I'm going to ask, hey, what are your top Facebook ads questions? And then I will get Kurt Bullock on the show, and we will go through and answer those questions for you. So look out for that post. And if you have not yet joined our Facebook group, search Unofficial Shopify Podcast Insiders on Facebook. We had a question from Curtis John. Mr. Rita, would you do me the honors of reading that one for me?
He says, I've heard people talk about how SMS marketing is huge and very important, but I've not heard you mention SMS marketing at all in recent podcast episodes. Well, we like to talk about different things. Would love to hear your take on SMS versus email marketing. Sully said, it's great to add on to your overall outbound email strategy, but not a full-blown replacement. He's talking about Tyler Sully Sullivan, I believe, from Bomb Tech
Sully
Golf,
commented on that, on his post, and I included that in the notes. I think the two misunderstandings in this question are, number one, just because we're not talking about it recently doesn't mean it's important, right?
Or doesn't mean it's
not important, certainly. And two, without a doubt, SMS and email are not mutually exclusive things. Very few marketing channels are mutually exclusive. SMS works wonderfully in conjunction with email. All of these things are other touch points. There's a reason why big brands buy radio ads, billboards, TV ads, PPC, every kind of ad you could come up with is because they're trying to increase the total number of touch points with their customers. That's how you view SMS and email. You're just multiplying touch points. And that's how you build a relationship with a customer, is by having as many touch points as possible. So that's the way I would look at that.
Yeah, it's definitely not a versus thing at all.
I do want to. I want to plug something. Jeremy Horowitz has an SMS guide that's coming out, and he sent me a preview copy. I read it. It was really good. It's like very much, here is a practical manual on like how to build this and how to set up SMS flows for your business. So if you're like, all right, I got email figured out, I got my email automation going, how do I add SMS? Someone has written an actual playbook on how to cover that. I believe it comes out this month. I know it's June. So look out for that. And Jeremy, if you're listening, this is clearly an invitation for you to post about it in our group. There's your free plug, buddy.
What?
Shaking your head at me.
You like that stupid thing too much.
That's the first time I've used it in this episode. All right? You're saying we should close the chapter on the sound effects?
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, I ixnay on the Law and Order, given what we talked about earlier.
You're right. It is really easy to screw this up. Oh, well. Let's... in our Facebook group, there was a great quick win that Rachel Reed posted. She said, she talked about waitlist versus pre-order. So normally, she said the past they had one of those notify me email captures like Back in Stock app or the Back in Stock flow that Klaviyo uses. So if someone visits a product and it's unavailable because it's sold out, you instead have a form up with an email and people can sign up. And then if you've gone through the effort and set up an automation for this, when it comes back in stock, they'll get an email that, hey, that item you wanted, that Star Wars t-shirt from 3 months ago is back in stock. And when they did that, she said, as an example, for one product, they had 130 people sign up, then 7 people convert after they noticed, after they were notified the item was back in stock, which generated $350 in revenue. All right, Rachel, thank you for sharing numbers. I appreciate it. So then they tried something new, she said. Instead of using the back in stock thing, they set a pre-order option at the variant level. So they left the item as available, but stated that it was a pre-order. So I'm not sure what the product was here. But let's say it was t-shirts and the red color was out of stock. So they changed color red they renamed the variant. So it said red pre-order, and below it, they display the approximate ship date and then display messaging throughout the cart and checkout to let the customer know that their order will ship with the pre-order item, your entire order. That different approach generated 51 orders and $3,000 in revenue. So basically, it's 10x more successful than the back in stock thing. And of course, the reason is the back in stock thing is such delayed gratification versus this, when they want it, they're able to make the purchase and then have it show up when it's available.
Oh, and I feel like there's a lot more confidence in a pre-order than putting your email into a capture form, being like, well, we'll email you if it's back in stock. Like, you don't know if it's going to be back in stock. That could just, who knows? Whereas if they're still taking the orders, you're kind of like, you trust more that you'll get it at some point.
Right. And
instead of just getting a random email at some point, hopefully.
If you have a store where stuff frequently goes in and out of stock, what we found when we do our customer surveys is that's a really frustrating experience for people because, FOMO kicks in. They want the stuff they can't order. So if you've got a couple of items that are out of stock in there, great. That's a little bit of social proof that your stuff sells out. But if you've got, a third of the catalog is gone out of stock, that's just really annoying for the customers. Like, I like this, can't have it. I like this, can't get that either. Right? Whereas if you're like, hey, you can order it and we're going to send it to you. Great. That's, now I know there is a monetary obligation that I'm going to get my thing. I just have to wait a little bit for it. Shall we discuss Bombas, a website teardown?
We could tear down Bombas. Kurt,
yes.
What is Bombas?
An apparel store or something?
I don't know. You don't have to play coy about it. You can just tell people.
No. Well, they sell socks. So no, I see a lot of ads advertising them.
Looks like it's t-shirts too.
I think the original core product was socks. Yeah, Sock Tech.
Anyway,
right, let me
go to bombas.com, BOMBAS.com. Load that up.
Load it up.
And I'm sure Kurt's doing a screen share or whatever.
Yeah, that's me. Screen share McGee.
And let's tie the whole episode together right there. Hero image, Black Lives Matter. Bombas stands firmly in support of our black employees, partners, and the entire black community. There you go. Can't argue with that. That is all you need to do, all you need to say. Well, not all you need to do, but you don't got to get crazy with
more.
it. That's exactly
Let's learn more got behind it.
That's exactly an appropriate thing. And well, no, they really killed it on this page. They're donating money. They're talking about the organizations they're supporting. National Bail Fund Network, thumbs up. And just talking about their corporate mission.
They did. You're right. They did do a really good job with this page. And notice the message, the announcement bar on the top of the page. It says useful resources to support the Black community. Useful. And it goes to a collection. It's the page we're on. Oh, interesting that they used a collection template to do this.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's weird that it's a collection page.
My guess is time was of the essence, and they were like, hey, this is the closest template that we could quickly modify.
Yeah, so I assume this is all like jammed into the description?
Maybe. I don't know. This is a big store. There's probably fancy templates we don't know about. All right, let's head back to the homepage.
But yes, good work, Bombas.
So, landing on the site, I like that the logo is in the upper left and our menu is centered. The advantage to that is people read in F pattern, top to bottom, left to right. So when you've got whatever is in that top left of your page, you pretty much guarantee people are going to see it. So having the logo there, I really like. Having said that, on both of our web, on ethercycle.com and credelster.com, I centered the logo. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Do as I say, not as I do. And I often preach about in your main menu, the main menu should be exclusively about shopping, and anything else should go in a secondary menu like a top menu or the footer. Bombas has ignored my advice entirely and is far more successful than I am. So
you'll get there.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Fingers crossed.
I believe in you.
We're business partners, so you should hope so.
No, I'm just gonna ride them coattails.
Let's see. So, what do you think of this homepage? What are we doing with this homepage?
I'm I don't know, because it's like things are weird right now, but like on a normal time, I would be like, can we get some products up on this homepage? Like it's entirely about them as the brand.
Yeah, you're right.
There's shop pride.
What this homepage looks like normally.
Yeah. But yeah, like they have it's June is also Pride Month to add that on top of it, of all the stuff. But so there's like their Shop Pride collection, and they do that thing which I think Tom's
really pioneered
invented.
That. Tom shoes, yeah.
Yeah. Where if you buy one pair, they donate a pair to someone.
And this really kicked off a charitable marketing or like social business movement where whatever your product is, you donate for whatever people buy, you donate one of that. And in this case, they have a giving directory on here, just kind of clever. I've never seen anything like this. Find where socks are donated near you. Let's click on that. And you could find a giving partner if you're interested in volunteering or locating a nearby organization that donates Bombas donation. It's a odd phrase. Enter your zip code below.
I did, and I got the Harbor, which is apparently a youth homelessness charity that provides shelters for homeless youths in Park Ridge.
Yeah.
So
that
sounds good to me.
So I think like one of my criticisms of sites that have a clear charitable or social mission is that I'm immediately cynical and skeptical. So the fact that they have prominently featured a thing that makes them no money, saying, "Hey, we got the receipts. If you want to see where we're donating to, you can, and you want to help, you could do that." And then in the footer, I see they are a certified B Corp. So it gives them a lot of legitimacy. And it's not, for someone who's like, all right, I'm going to do social good and talk about it as part of my business. It's not your fault that I am cynical or skeptical, but there's just enough scumbags out there that that immediately my radar goes off when I see these things.
Well, and I think...
Whereas here, I'm like, I'm convinced that this is legit.
Two things. One, I think, to go back to like our everything is holistic, everything is political. I think people overestimate the amount of scumbaggery that exists in the world, or at least, in terms of like charitable things where they're sort of like, well, I could give money to all these charities, but like, I know someone's going to end up scamming me. And it's like, okay, so you're going to do nothing because like 1 out of the 20 might be a scam. So you end up doing nothing. So like in the end, nothing, not that you made the world worse, but like you kind of denied everyone because you thought one was bad. So fix your hearts, everyone. And then number 2, I know we've talked about this before. There's like a right way to do this and a wrong way to do it. And, there are sites that are sort of just like, a portion of the sale will go to the human fund. Not even saying the human fund, just like diabetes. Like that's it. It will say a portion of this sale goes to diabetes, and you're done. And they have that everywhere. That I'm always like, that shit's a scam. Like, who cares? Or they're donating like a nickel out of the thing that they're selling for full price.
When I'm really suspicious is when it looks like just a throwaway hand wavy thing. Like just in one spot, it's like, we give some profit to whatever, like some cause. But then like there's nothing else about it. Whereas here, what makes it work is it has become a central point of the brand in the homepage and all of their communications. So here I'm like, all right, I'm all in. But I think like you got to go, you need to really commit.
And they back it up with actual information. They're like, here's what we do. Here are the places. You can find them. We're telling you about them. That sort of stuff. And I remember the last time we talked about this, I talked about how these type of things can be part of your post-purchase emails. So like so they're going to have your zip code. So if I bought a Bombas socks right now, pick the top one from the zip code, and in the post-purchase emails you send me an email about the harbor and that my purchase gave them money, and here's more about what they did.
That sounds like a real nightmare to build, but I see your point.
Is it? I mean, they have their database of places. They have my zip code because they ship me the socks.
I guarantee there's someone who's like, well, with Zapier and Airtable, I could make that work. Like, my project manager recently started using Airtable, and I'm like, wow, I'm pretty sure you could get this thing to do about just whatever.
See, in this situation, I'm the store owner with the big ideas, so I just get to wave my hand and go, make that work.
I see.
And rely on you. And
You're the vision guy. I'm just the hands.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I think that would be great if you could do something like that, because like that would give the harbor more exposure. That would make people feel better about Bombas, that this is real shit that's happening.
Maybe they do that. I don't know. So
that would be cool.
I think in this episode, we've never done this. Let's walk through actually buying something. I'm gonna buy something here.
All right, you buy them because I don't care about socks. You're a real socks guy.
I got opinions on socks. So it's the summer, so I think we need to go with some no-show socks. All right. Well, first, this main menu is pretty awesome.
It's a good mega menu.
It's nice. I got nothing to say other than it's very easy to navigate. Like, I've not actually been on this site before, and I knew immediately, like, I want to buy socks. So, men, socks, and clearly this is arranged by bestsellers, socks, but it's arranged by how I would shop for them, by height, no show. That's fabulous. This makes life very easy. Mm-hmm. And I like that they're doing a bundle discount over here, and they called it out in red. And maybe the way, like CSS-wise, if you wanted to implement this on your own store, you could set up a CSS rule called last of type. So you go, in this list, the last item is always red. That's a way to, like, if you've got something in your mega menu in Shopify that you want to be bold or a different color, that's an easy way to do it with CSS.
No offense to our store owners, but if any of our store owners implement something involving nth of type, post that in the group, because I doubt anyone's doing it.
Well, and I've said that before, like, HTML and CSS are, if you're a merchant, knowing that is a superpower. That just unlocks so much customization for your site. All right, I'm clicking on socks by height, no show. So now I'm on the collection page for men's no-show socks. Oh, this is good.
I mean, this really goes overboard. I mean, so they got the color swatches in the collection items.
Dude, good. No,
you click
go
on
to the
if you click.
We have to talk about the hero image. You're photographed the hero image, or combine two images. But either way, the hero image graphic or photograph was created with the collection page in mind. Because look how well it frames the collection title, and then below it, they've got there's a collection filter right here. Oh no, I'm sorry. This links to the other collections. Like which?
Yeah, this goes. No, it doesn't actually change the collection. It just takes you to a different collection that's like narrower.
And they could do this if they wanted to. I'm sure there's a reason, but if they wanted to, they could do this where it filters by tag. So I mean,
this is way easy. This is easier though. I think.
Like it would have to be collection / men's socks / lightweight.
Yeah.
So of the socks here, I don't know that I've ever owned merino wool, and I love merino wool. So should I click on merino wool, or do we want to talk about this page?
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. It's just it'll take you to the merino wool collection.
I'm doing it. I'm on men's merino wool socks now.
What is a merino, and why did we kill it for its wool? We didn't kill it. We shaved
it. Merino wool, I do not know what it's made from, what makes it merino wool, but it's a finer, lighter cotton, or finer, lighter wool. So you get the anti-stink properties of wool, but with like the cool practicality of cotton.
Is it like a different kind of sheep, or is it like you do a thing to the normal sheep wool?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not a rancher.
You've just been snowed by branding, is what you're saying.
Yes. I've owned some merino wool items that I had a merino wool hoodie that I loved. All right, back to business.
All right, anyway, so they got all these swatches on here. When you click on the swatches, it swaps out the product photo in the collection.
And on hover, you get an add to cart button. That's not annoying. And then hover over the add to cart button.
Yeah, and then it has the sizes in there, which is crazy.
That's awesome.
It's like, so you just click XL and it just adds it? Oh yeah, it just adds it.
Would you be able to build something like this?
Well, having it like then add the specific selected variants, I don't know how to do. Me telling you right now how I would do it, you will not receive an answer.
So the answer is, if you got to research it.
If you're like, Paul, figure out how to do this, I'll be like, cool. Talk to you next week.
It's so cool. I want to do it on something. I would love to see a heat map. I wonder how many people actually use this. Because like, I am about to spend $53 on 4 pairs of socks, and that's a 5% pack savings. And so I'm going to click through onto the product detail page. And part of the reason I'm going to do that is because there are sizes, and I need to know what size corresponds to what. I'm assuming I'm a large.
Hang on. I have a problem in that, like, so you know how, like, the collection images, they kind of fade in a little bit?
They do?
When you hit refresh.
Refresh it.
They got, like, a real quick fade effect on them where they, like, blink.
Seems unnecessary.
Like, once every 10 page loads, it doesn't fade it in, so they're just, like, ghosted pure white images.
And we've seen consistently,
like, I got it right now,
that anytime you mess around with image loading like that, where often the way it works is like the image is set to opacity 0, and then it like fades it back in quickly, it can fail. It's not worth it. I always turn the image loading effects off to avoid trouble. Let me put that on the screen. I don't know if it'll show in the screen share, but I see that, and it's not great.
Yeah. So yeah, don't screw with like fade images in effect. Like there have been multiple times we've had it happen, multiple stores, different clients of ours, where they're like, my product form has disappeared. No one can buy anything. And what happened was the theme or somebody put a cool thing where it's like, oh, well, the product form doesn't actually just blink into place like every other website. It does a cool transition where it starts out completely invisible and then slowly becomes visible. Okay, cool. The problem is if there's like a weird funky JavaScript thing or like the browser bars for some reason,
or the internet
there's
hiccups.
something going on, there's an internet hiccup, the form just stays invisible and then never fades into place, and everyone's going, okay, well, I can't buy anything now because everything's invisible. Like, where'd it go? There's nothing here.
That's the danger with these effects.
Yeah, or they hiccup, and then it just ends up in a state where it's not the state you wanted it to be.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm like increasingly anti-design. I'm like, that's just extra nonsense. Get rid of it. Yeah.
What have you done with Kurt?
This site is beautiful, but I'm still riding that Pit Vipers high, which I did receive my Pit Viper sunglasses, and I love them. Thank you. Okay. So last thing on this collection page I really like is that it presents you the savings as a percentage, in addition to just showing like their retail price is striked out as a strike through, and then it shows me the sale price, and then it says 5% pack savings. I think that's cool. All right, I'm going to click on the product detail page for the no-show sock 4-pack.
It's very fancy.
Is nice. And also not unlike the Allbirds layout. It's not the same, but it's not that different. What does full product details do? Whoa! Why is this just not on the page? Like, click on that full product details link.
Where are you seeing that?
It's right below the description.
I see details, and then there's tech and materials.
Okay, I think we're on different pages. I'm going to send you a link.
I'm on the men's lightweight merino wool no-show sock 4-pack.
Men's lightweight merino wool no-show sock 4-pack. Oh, we might be in different split tests. Whoa!
What? I don't know. I just got, there's the sizes, then there's add to cart, then there's details with like, it's got 2 little tabs, and then you scroll down more and there's a bunch of stuff.
I'm going to send you... Oh, I can't send you a screenshot right now. Yeah, it says... So it's the cart form, description, and then there's a link underneath it that says full product details. That opens a modal window that has the description, the materials and care, and a features column that has lovely illustrations that I'm like, why did you hide all this behind a single text link?
All right, I sent my page.
Okay, the page you're looking at is completely different than the one I'm looking at.
Oh man, those fuckers.
Mine's very simple. Yours is like really got a fancy layout and design.
No show sock 4-pack ? Variant multi.
Okay.
And that's just
Do you have
the
collection? Is it /collections or /products?
No, it's just /products.
Okay, yeah, we're on the same URL. We're in a split test. Crazy. All right, what I like about this page, they make the sizing very clear. The variant buttons are really clear. Again, they've got that commitment to making it clear that it is a product with a social mission, in that now that I'm looking at a 4-pack, under the add to cart form, it says 4 purchased equals 4 donated.
I believe it says that above the product title, not below the add to cart form.
Again, that's because you're on, your split test. It's above.
That's my joke.
Yeah, mine's a very basic page, and you've got like a really fancy page. So they're trying to figure out if a new design works better or not. I'm probably in the control. I need to pick a color here as to which is going to be the best socks for me. Okay, I've selected my colors. Oh, lucky me, they're only available in large. But to confirm that, what would be nice is if under this, since they've clearly built a custom form here, and it says size L, if it had, as part of the button, it said like shoe size, and then told me the range. And it does.
It does say that?
Where does it say that on yours?
It says above the size picker, it says like size M, U.S. shoe size.
Yeah.
6.5
okay, that's where it says it for me too.
Okay.
I'm saying make it a part of that button. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they're right next to each other.
Yeah, that is a minor complaint. All right, I shall click add to bag.
Well, note if you click on the unavailable sizes, it says notify me, when as we learned earlier,
it should be a pre-order.
Pre-order.
Well, and that's interesting because that's yours. When I pick a size, it just says sold out. if it's an unavailable size.
My page is
Yeah.
way better. It doesn't hide any content.
I know the screen share would be better if I was in your split test. All right, then when you click add to cart, on mine it did something cool. The button color changed to indicate that I'd added it to the bag, and then my drawer cart opened.
No, I didn't notice the button change. But yeah, I got it. Oh yeah, it is. It's now white. That just might be like and now it won't go
Mine
back.
changed from blue to green. It looked very intentional, and then after a few moments, it flipped back.
Mine went from blue to white, and now it's always white and won't change back. So I think it's got some weird like active state that's not turning off.
Their drawer cart's very straightforward, but it's very nice.
Score! Your order qualifies for
That's
free
right.
U.S. shipping.
I like that message, and clearly it's dynamic. That's very nice. And then they do a thing I've seen a few other sites do. The checkout button, rather than have a subtitle field, the subtitle price is just part of the checkout button. It says checkout -5320.
Yeah, that's good.
If they wanted to, they could improve this by adding some extra like objection busters into the drawer cart. Like satisfaction guaranteed.
Upsells. Cross sells.
The purchased equals donated thing is not in the cart, and it's like clearly has been. It's on the homepage. It's on the product pages. Why not do it in the cart too? I'm gonna click checkout. Let's see what we got here. Once I'm in the checkout, it is just the standard Shopify checkout. I'm going to attempt.
Well,
are you familiar with Honey? It's a Chrome extension.
You've mentioned it. I think it's like finds product codes or whatever.
And it works with Shopify checkout. So it popped open and it says coupons found. Apply 10 coupons. And when I click it, it is now going to run through and just start applying coupon codes to see what kind of discount it can get me. Let's run it. It's like more than halfway through. This thing's free too. I think PayPal bought it not long ago. All right, come on. It tests all 10 coupons. It's about to tell me my savings. I've saved $10.64 with the coupon code SKIM. So, Honey, cool extension. Continue to check out. The thing that surprises me here is this is just the like entirely standard Shopify checkout. They put in their logo, and then nothing else about this has changed. The labels are all the same. The button colors are the default that Shopify gives you, and the fonts are the standard.
Oh, I think that light blue, that the continue to shipping button, that's the same as the light blue on all of the product page.
Oh, really?
Maybe not on your product page, on my product page. So at least that fits a little bit. But yeah, the front end of the site is very much all in on this blue color as part of their background. I would pop that in and have it as a background on the checkout.
I filled in my info for my shipping address. I'm going to leave it checked. I'm going to opt into the newsletter so I can see what their post-purchase flow looks like later and turn that into some social media content for myself. The shipping method, all right, here I found the first customization they've done. There's a note, and we've done this a lot for Shopify Plus clients because they can customize the checkout. Beneath shipping method, it says, orders placed by noon ET ship the same day. Well, that's a missed opportunity. You could do a countdown timer where it's like, order in the next 59 minutes and your order ships same day. So that would be cool if it were a countdown timer in the checkout. That could be on the product page. But I also get that they don't necessarily want, maybe it could be in the cart, but I get that the design of this site is very clean, and maybe they're like a countdown timer just does not work with that. They offer me 3 shipping options in which this is not carrier calculated. This is literally just, it appears to be price or weight based rules. So very standard stuff. And they offer me standard shipping, UPS 2-day, UPS overnight. And then they have written in parentheses, please allow X days for delivery. This is great. It is very clear how they're going to ship my item and how long I have to wait for it. So they're setting those expectations. And the advantage to so it's $4 for the standard shipping. One thing I've seen people do is in here, include the free shipping threshold to encourage people to go back and add shipping. The downside is previously I qualified for free shipping. Now I don't because of my coupon code. Yeah, but I think net it's still lower, so I'm sticking with I'm gonna pay the $4 for shipping, though it hurts my soul. I wonder if they do like anything post purchase. All right, $49 is what I'm paying. $10 for a pair of socks. My order is processing. Thank you, Kurt. Your order is confirmed. Oh, I went through all that, and I was really hoping there would be like something special or different. Oh, yes, it worked. Okay, once the order confirmation page loaded, there's a pop-up. It says, get $20 towards your next purchase. Share 25% off Bombas with your friends and family. You'll get $20 to spend on Bombas for yourself. And then they talk about, for every pair of Pride socks purchase, we'll donate a pair to people in need, etc., etc. This is great. What we know about, so this is not a loyalty program, a referral program, affiliate program. The advantage to this is you're going to turn, like right when people are excited about their purchase, when they first made it, is when they're most likely to share it. And that's why they've got, they do this pop-up right here, post-purchase immediately. My only criticism of it is I literally don't know how you do it. There's no button, there's no call to action, there's no instructions. My only thing I could do is close it. Yeah. So even if I wanted to do what they offered me, I don't know how. It was not clear. Okay. And then they also, post-purchase ask, how did you hear about us? And there's like a drawer part that popped up. Did you hear about us on cable, Hulu, Facebook, podcast, etc.? That's cool. I have heard their Sirius radio commercials. So I'm going to check radio. Oh, and then it keeps going. Sirius. All right. They even ask me which radio I want. These guys are diving deep in the data. Send. Now it's asking me my gen. All right, I'm out. That's enough. You guys are good. Okay. There we go. That Bombas, you know what I like about that Bombas site is it's large. It is extremely clean and minimal, and fairly no nonsense. And they just really focused hard on building a site that showcases their content, where they've got great photos and messages, etc.
Yeah, exactly. There's great photos, great messaging. There's no real doodads. Like, it's all just straightforward. Like, if you want to buy stuff, go here. If you want to learn more about us, go here. And they just do it. I mean, and the navigation, it's just Bombas and then women, men, kids, about, help, size guide. Like, there's nothing stupid up there, nothing that distracts from the focus of the site up there. It's that's my word for it. It's focused. It's really well put together and focused. They clearly cared about their imagery.
I like focused is good. It's edited. It has a lot of self-restraint. It's very easy to be like, let's add this app, and this widget. And if you could go, no, it's going to detract from the overall experience.
Yeah, there are no apps and widgets on this site
Not
whatsoever.
until you get to the post-purchase. And my guess is there, in the post-purchase, is like, it's just the most practical way to do it.
It's delightful.
So, Bombas, good job, and I'm excited to get these socks. All right. Any closing thoughts, Mr. Rita? How's your new house?
I'm moving on Tuesday, the day that this publishes. I will be moving.
Congratulations.
So, hopefully, I will be fine, and all my stuff will be okay.
It will be. It'll go fine.
Oh no, I don't own anything. It'll be real quick.
Don't own anything. Yeah, you're kind of like a minimalist in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about this, and that we're very much like, we don't spend very much, but when we do spend on something, we're like, we're getting the best thing. Not necessarily the most expensive thing, but the best. Yeah,
the subjective best.
Yeah. We're not going to buy too many things, but when we do, it'll be the best
I have a spending problem. Speak for yourself.
I don't.
I have so much guilt about my kids being trapped in the house with us for months on end and not being able to see anybody, go on vacation. So I'm just making it rain toys and video games in here. Yeah. Are you going to come over? Be like, can I get... And it doesn't work for you. You're not cute.
I heard there was new PlayStation games at your house. I would like to...
Funny you should mention that.
Play with the PlayStation games.
My camera just turned off.
Oh, maybe the thing fell.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up there. Join us in the
Okay.
Facebook group. Search Unofficial Shopify Podcast and join the Unofficial Shopify Podcast Insiders group on Facebook. And if you've got your Facebook ads questions, look out. I got a post coming up in which I will ask for your top concerns and questions around Facebook ads, and Kurt Bullock and I will do an episode about it in the future. And until then, please go out, live your best life, and if you believe in something, don't be afraid to share that on social media.